Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here with a really quick review and recap of my WWE live event experience that happened live September 21st, 2013 in Fort Wayne, Indiana at the historic War Memorial. Now, this was actually held in the Expo. There's a second little building. It holds, I'm guessing, 3,000 or 4,000 people. I think there was probably somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 people in attendance for this show. Normally, the Raws and SmackDowns that have been taped there have been in the big house, and it holds, I think, something like either 14 or 17,000 people. So it's a little change of venue, but it was a house show. It's the first WWE house show I've been to since '98 in South Bend, Indiana. I've been to plenty of televised events, but this is the first one. So we had, I think, 7 matches. I'm going to give you a little rundown on what I thought of the show. I had a blast, to be honest with you. There were a lot of firsts for me there. I finally got to see RVD. I got to see the Wyatt family. I'd seen Bray Wyatt before, but I got to see Rowan and Brody Lee. Sami Zayn, a.k.a. El Generico. Finally got to see him. I got to see Jason Ayers, who's actually from Central Indiana, and he made it up through the ranks, and he actually is now a referee for WWE, so that really inspired me. So I thought that was really awesome. So I'm going to try my best to give you the rundown. Opened up the show with Damien Sandow, Mr. Money in the Bank, coming out and challenging the biggest ignoramus in the locker room, and out comes Santino Marella. Classic back and forth match, comedy, hilarious. Damien Sandow had the crowd, on one side, they hated him, and then Santino was just the biggest fan favorite, man. It was crazy. A lot of fun, great match, and a surprise upset. Santino Marella got the win. I couldn't believe it, but it was a heck of a lot of fun. The crowd popped so hard. Damien grabbed the mic and he said, "And I'm still your future World Heavyweight Champion, Damien Sandow." Crowd hated him. It was hilarious. Then we had Jack Swagger without Zeb Coulter, without Antonio Cesaro. He came out and they had Sami Zayn, a.k.a. El Generico without the mask. Now, this is the first time I'd gotten to see Sami Zayn, so I was really excited for that. Crowd loved him. They didn't know who he was, but they loved him. They hated Jack Swagger, even though Jack Swagger did We the People about 8 times during the match, and the crowd was all about that too, so it was kind of a confliction. But heck of a match. Sami Zayn, he got that win in a surprise. Couldn't believe it. Jack Swagger couldn't believe it. The crowd couldn't believe it. Sami was doing dives. He was doing a lot of great indie spots, mixing it with the classic WWE spots. Awesome. Killer match. I'm really hoping he makes it big in WWE. Then in a tag team match. Well, they had said all the beginning of the show that we could text a certain number and decide if it was going to be a Divas tag match or a Divas dance-off. And the announcer said match at the beginning, and then he corrected himself. But it was the Funkadactyls, which are Naomi and Cameron, taking on your reigning and defending Divas champion, AJ Lee and Layla. Oh my gosh, these girls are so pretty. Oh my gosh. And they actually had a 10-minute match. Unbelievable. You're not used to seeing Divas matches lasting 10 minutes. Most of the time they're edited for TV, so it was really cool seeing a WWE live event and seeing these ladies have a match. Fun, fast-paced match. AJ kind of stayed out of there, just cheated a little bit here and there. But the Funkadactyls got the win. Really fun match. Then we had, and for some weird reason, we had the World Heavyweight Championship match in the 4th match. And that was Rob Van Dam taking on Alberto Del Rio, who wanted to be referred to as ADR, RVD. And, it was a good, solid back-and-forth match. Chair was crowd was really into it. RVD was just going crazy. He was putting as many high spots as he could in the match. Unfortunately, oh crap! I think it went to a disqualification, right? Because Del Rio was trying to pull off the "I'm not going to do this" match. RVD chased after him. One thing I'll give RVD is that he went crazy with the fans. He was high-fiving everybody he could. He'd go in a circle, and then he'd come back, and then making sure everyone got a high five. I unfortunately wasn't over there. I couldn't get one, but the funny thing at the end of the match was Damian Sandow came out and tried to cash in, and right as he was about to, RVD came in and just beat the crap out of him. There was a frog splash, a Van Terminator, Van Dominator. I mean, it's just every move RVD does, he did. It was awesome. I believe then we went to intermission, I think, and then we came back, and it was Zack Ryder, who I got the high five, taking on Ryback. Your classic squash match. Zack Ryder had his move sets he was trying to do, but unfortunately he was not man enough that night to defeat the Ryback, and the Ryback won in dominating fashion. Then we had a 6-man tag with the Usos, which are Jimmy and Jey Uso, teaming up with Kofi Kingston to take on the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Rowan, and Brody Lee. The Wyatt family started off the offense first. Bray Wyatt stayed in his rocking chair for the first 5 minutes, and then once one of the opposing team members was incapacitated on the ground, that's when Bray wanted to get tagged in. He did his classic, his classic moveset, and then he, that thing where I can't remember what it's called, where he's kind of like Exorcist style and he's upside down. Well, he did that to Kofi, but get this, he went further than he's done on Raw, and he started backwards crawling, and it was very cool, very creepy. Just as it was the classic finish, this is the good guys were about to win. Bray came in and he hit his finishing move. I think it's called Dear Sister, Dear Elizabeth, on Kofi, and he sneakily won. Crazy, fun match. Then we had the main event of the evening. We had Curtis Axel coming out, and he said how he's the main event and how he's the reigning and defending Intercontinental Champion. And he said, well, he has a surprise for Fort Wayne. Then he wheeled out in a wheelchair Paul Heyman. Big surprise. I was very surprised to see Paul Heyman there. And he was just saying how he just got off the phone with the lawyers and how he doesn't think that the title should be defended in such a crappy town like Fort Wayne and stuff like that. It was really funny. And he said, but the lawyer agreed. And he said that, but it will be a no-holds-barred, no DQ match. So this is over the course of a couple minutes. He was just railing on Fort Wayne. It was hilarious. The crowd hated Paul Heyman. They get in the ring. CM Punk's music comes out. CM Punk comes crazy, going ham. He's got a kendo stick. First couple minutes of the match are just kendo stick wax, just over and over again. It was just, your classic little hardcore match. Steel chair was involved. They put it in between the middle and top turnbuckle. Smashed them through. Punk tried to get the GTS. It took 3 times before he was able to get Curtis Axel into the GTS. Paul Heyman was running around. They thought he was going to get GTS, but he didn't. I realized I just pluralized that. Out comes Ryback to help Curtis Axel and beat up CM Punk. Then out of nowhere, Kofi Kingston comes out. And Kofi and Punk clean house, and the crowd ends the night happy. Really cool thing was Punk and Kofi went crazy just like RVD, and they were high-fiving fans over and over again. They kept going. I actually got to high-five CM Punk and then high-five Kofi, so that was really cool. Overall, it was a really fun night. It was only 7 matches. I was kind of hoping for some more, but, I had really good seats, and I got to touch CM Punk, I got to talk to some of the coordinator for WWE. Never know. And it was really cool. So I had a great time with it. I hope some of you guys went. I know I've already had some messages on my other video about attending the show that people saw me there. So if you saw me, please let me know. Yeah. Are you going to any shows coming up? Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and let's talk wrestling.